I was halfway to the door when she said it. Sixth one. She smiled, rubbing her belly like it was a trophy. You'll help again, right? The room went silent. Even the kids stopped moving. 5 little faces turned to me, not with love, but expectation. They didn't see an aunt, they saw a second mother, a free one. I didn't answer because I already knew the truth. If I stayed, I'd disappear. If I left, I'd become the villain. So I left. The door shut behind me with a finality that tasted like oxygen. That was the inciting moment, the fracture, the betrayal, finally wearing a face. But to understand the revenge, you have to understand the sacrifice that came first. I still remember the first time she handed me her baby. "I just need a little help," she whispered. "You're the only one I trust." I believed her. I wanted to. She was my big sister, the one who braided my hair, who told me I'd never be alone. So I raised her first child, then the second. By the third, she didn't even pretend anymore. She just left them with me and vanished for days. Parties, trips, self-care, she called it. By the fourth, my apartment had turned into a daycare center. I stopped living. I started surviving. By the fifth, I knew what I was to her, not family, a replacement. And when she announced the sixth, I saw the future written in the shape of my own exhaustion. So I walked away. That's when the mask fell off. She didn't cry, she called the police. Human trafficking, she told them. She took my kids and tried to run. That was the accusation, the knife. I laughed when I heard it, because if she wanted a war, I would give her one. But mine would be quiet, precise, legal. The first clue had come months earlier, a text she didn't know I saw. "You can keep using her. She won't leave. She's too loyal." That was when I started planning, not out of anger, out of inevitability. I documented everything. Every time she left her kids with me, every message where she asked me to handle it, every hospital form she listed me as the emergency guardian. She thought I was the help. I was the evidence. The day the police arrived, I was ready. They knocked hard. Authority always does. "She claims you abducted her children," the officer said. I nodded calmly. "I raised them. Would you like proof?" They didn't expect that. I handed them a folder thick enough to choke a lie. Medical records, school enrollments, financial transfers from my account to cover their food, clothes, daycare. And at the center, the message where she admitted she left them with me because she didn't want the responsibility. The officer read it twice. Then he looked at me like I wasn't the criminal. I was the whistleblower. But the revenge didn't stop there, because justice isn't about survival, it's about consequences. I filed for legal guardianship, not out of spite, but protection. If I was raising them anyway, I wanted the law to recognize what she refused to. And when she found out, that's when she realized she'd made a mistake, not by having another child, by underestimating the one raising them. The confrontation happened in the courtroom. She arrived dressed in victimhood, tears polished, voice trembling. "She abandoned me," she told the judge. "She ruined my life." I spoke once, just once. "She didn't want a sister," I said. "She wanted a servant." Then I slid the final piece of evidence across the desk, a voice recording of her telling someone she only kept having kids because someone else was stupid enough to raise them. The judge didn't look at her after that, only at me. She lost custody that day, not because of revenge, because of truth. The children stayed with me, legally this time, protected, stable, safe, and she walked out of the courtroom with the same empty hands she'd been leaving me with for years. That was the payoff. That was the reckoning. But the story doesn't end there, because betrayal has a way of revealing the people who were always waiting in the shadows. After the hearing, someone approached me, a man, quiet, observant. "You handled that well," he said. "Most people crumble when family turns on them. I don't crumble, I calculate." He smiled. "I know," he said. "I've been watching." That was when I realized he wasn't there for sympathy, he was there for opportunity. Because while my sister was losing everything she thought she controlled, he had just discovered who took her place, me. The one she thought she owned, the one who walked away, the one who turned sacrifice into power. And as I walked out of that courthouse, 5 small hands slipped into mine, not because they had to, but because they wanted to. And for the first time in my life, I wasn't raising someone else's mistakes, I was raising my own future. That's what happened.